Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl, and today it is a pretty warm day. The last few days, it's been in the late 20s to early 30s today. Right now, it's 31 degrees, which is 31 Celsius, 88 Fahrenheit, and it's supposed to get up to 36 degrees Celsius today. We're almost there, and I came out here first thing in the morning, watered everything, but I have to pick some lettuce because it is just getting so big. This is my Thunder Crunch lettuce, so I am going to be picking a bunch of it today, and then I'm gonna take it in the house, wash it up, and depending on how much I get, I could be giving some of it away. That's what I do. I'm also going to be picking again later in the week because we are going to be going camping soon, and I want to make sure that I have lots of fresh vegetables that we don't want to have to buy while we're camping. And of course, that'll be lettuce. I like to use lettuce in salads. I also use lettuce in place of hamburger buns. And we definitely have our share of hamburgers and hot dogs while we're camping. I'm not exactly sure how much of this lettuce I'm going to pick today. I definitely want to get all the outer leaves picked. Fill up my sink full of cold water, let my lettuce kind of soak in that for a while, and then I run each of the lettuce leaves through my salad spinner, and that gets most of the moisture out, and then I just bag it all up. I've got one head here. I'm just going to pull this out. It's not a very nice head. I'll give it to my chickens. I just wanted to. There's some more. I'll give that to my chickens too. The whole thing was limp. And I'm like, okay, it's probably not the best time to be picking lettuce in the heat of the day, but it shouldn't be all wilted up like that neither. So something was going on, and oh, there's another little piece. I'll give that to the chickens too. I have quite a bit of this Butter Crunch lettuce. I also will use it for doing lettuce wraps too. I love the Butter Crunch lettuce for lettuce wraps. They work so well. And I think tonight I'm making a Caesar salad, so I have some romaine that I'm going to pick also. Okay. And then I have some romaine behind me that also needs to be picked. I would have did it this morning, but I had a pedicure appointment this morning at 10 o'clock. So by the time I was finished watering, then it was time for me to leave and go to my pedicure appointment, and I just got back. But I think now I've ran all the errands that I want to run. Whew, I have hardly been out here, and I'm already got sweat dripping down my face. I'm gonna have to have another shower if I keep this up. Holy. Well, it is pretty warm out, so give that to the chickens. But boy, this is sure nice lettuce. I kept looking at it and thinking, oh my gosh, I need to pick that. Every time I came out here and watered, I was thinking I needed to pick my lettuce. And of course, I think today is supposed to be the hottest day this week. And yeah, why not pick today to do it? I have a friend coming over for dinner tonight, and that was the reason why I wanted to pick this lettuce, was so that I could give her some to take home. Okay, let's get these pieces underneath first. get this a little closer. I've almost filled my basket. And this is just a, just a small row. Can you imagine? I know some people, they will plant like a 25, 30-foot row of lettuce. I can't even imagine having that much lettuce. But, I mean, really, it's just Jamie and I who eat the lettuce. Austin doesn't really eat a whole lot of lettuce. The only times he has lettuce is if we have lettuce wraps and it has meat in it. Then he doesn't mind eating lettuce. He seems to be okay with that, but any other time, like he doesn't put lettuce in a sandwich or anything like that. So, okay, I think I've picked everything I need. Now this is my romaine lettuce. And this was the romaine that I had to I planted the seed twice, because the first time I planted it, it didn't come. But boy, has it ever come up nice now. And I have lots of it. And romaine is another, I love romaine and I love the butter crunch lettuce. Those are probably my two favorite lettuces for planting in the garden. Romaine that I planted first, that I tried it last year and it didn't grow, so I bought new seed. And so this is the new seed, because the first romaine that I tried to grow was the red romaine. And then after, I noticed that I actually did get some red romaine did come up. This one that I'm picking right now, this is the red romaine. And so it did actually, I think I have 2 plants of red romaine. The rest is just the regular romaine. And I don't pick the whole head. I just like to pick leaf by leaf. And I find that it lasts longer because it'll keep growing. As long as you're just picking the outer leaves, it'll keep growing more lettuce. So that's what I like about planting the romaine as well. Whoops. Like, it's pretty warm, and of course, then my nose starts running. I've already had to stop the camera once to go blow my nose, and I am thinking I have to do it again. Like, this is crazy how all of a sudden you go from nothing to now I gotta blow my nose. I haven't even really been exerting myself and have to blow my nose. Must come with age. I remember my dad would always, he'd just get outside, start working, and he'd have to blow his nose. But back in, he's one of the ones that he would carry a handkerchief in his back pocket. So he'd pull that out. Well, I don't carry handkerchiefs in my back pocket, needless to say. Although I was smart and I stuck a box of Kleenex in my garden shed, so if I do need Kleenex, I just go into my garden shed and get a Kleenex from my Kleenex box. Okay, I think we're almost finished picking the romaine. And then we are going to pick some kale next. Ended up putting my lettuce leaves in the shade here so they're not in the heat, and especially with the sun beating down on them. I have quite a bit of the dwarf green curled kale ready, so I'm just going to pick as much as I can off of here. It's like ever since the sun started getting hot, everything's just been exploding with growth. I think my tomatoes are almost ready to start staking them up. So I'm going to be doing that this week as well. Going to be doing some quite a bit of pruning and staking them up. This kale is really nice looking. And again, I don't plant very much kale because it's just, again, the only thing Austin would eat kale in is sometimes I'll put kale in lasagna instead of spinach. And I like it in that. So I like to saute it with scrambled eggs in the morning for breakfast. So really it's mostly Jamie and I who eat the kale. And I've made put it in salads. I'll mix it with other lettuces and salads too because it's so good. So yeah, I've only got a couple more here that I'm gonna pick. And I think we will pick my Hikuri salad turnips. They definitely need to be picked. So I'm gonna put this in the shade. Okay, so this is my Hikuri salad turnips, and these definitely need to be picked. Look at the size of these. Like, that just seems so big. And I see a little bit of pest damage on this, so I'm gonna get my knife and see if it's all the way into my salad turnip or not. Let's see. I'm just cutting off the part that is a little questionable. So I did end up, as you can see, with some pest damage from bugs. So I probably waited too long to pick these, but I really like the Hikuri salad turnips, and I would eat these raw, and I would also roast them, and you can roast them in the oven with onions and some olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. They're so good. Yeah, they remind me of a radish. The texture of it is like a radish as well. They have a bit of sweetness to them. So you can eat these raw, and the finish is kind of like a radish too, where sometimes it can have a bit of heat to it. But overall, it's a really nice, I like the sweetness to it. I will grow these all day long. I love these. And so I have a row. This row here was my first row that I started. I have another row over there that I succession sowed, and I'm going to be starting another row in a spot where I have pulled out some radishes, and I'm going to plant these because I absolutely love these. They're so good. So I'm going to pick the ones. Most of these are pretty big size. I'll give the rest of that to my chickens. But this one here didn't get any pest damage done to it. So I'll just cut the tops off and give those tops to my chickens. This one has some pest damage on the bottom, so I'll have to cut through that. And I mean, I just cut off the bad spots, and we'll eat the rest of it. I should have had another container for all my tops that I want to give to my chickens. If I keep them in a pile, I should be able to pick them up and collect them without too much problem. But look at how nice these are. Like I say, I probably let mine go a little bit too long. There's a couple in here that I can let them go a little bit longer. I noticed in that next row that I planted, there's a couple of them in there that need to be picked, so I'll pick those too, because I'm doing a pork roast from one of our pigs. We're doing a pork roast tonight for dinner with some potatoes, and I want to roast up these Hikuri salad turnips to have with our potatoes and roast and gravy and everything. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I've only got a couple more big ones here. But where I pulled out my radishes over in that next bed beside us, that's where I'm going to plant some more. Definitely no pest damage over here on these ones. I didn't notice any on that one. Do I have another big one? No, I'm going to let these ones get a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to get this one. I just need a couple more to make a half decent. Well, I'm going to add onions to it too. So I just add white onion, red onion, whichever. And then I use a flavored olive oil with it. I have different flavors of olive oil. I have a habanero, I have basil, lemon, and then I just got a Tuscan olive oil, and you could use that in it too. So we're going to go over to this other bed, and I am going to plant some more of the hikiri salad turnips. This is where I'm going to be planting my new hikiri salad turnip seeds. Right beside me I have, this is the, oh my gosh, kohlrabi right beside me. So I'm going to plant it here. It's been probably just over a week since I've had anything in here. And these hikiri salad turnip seeds, you can get these through West Coast Seeds. And so if you know, like we have an outlet here, our feed store carries West Coast Seeds. I was just in Prince George and I went to Art Knapp and they carry West Coast Seeds. And I'm going to Kamloops and there's an Art Knapp there and they carry West Coast Seeds as well. So I don't know of any other companies, like any other stores besides Art Knapp that carries West Coast Seeds. But it's nice to be able to go in and see what seeds are available. You could order them online for sure. West Coast Seeds has a online site where you could order right directly through them. So I just wanted to, I had a viewer asking me about the Kozy coats and I wanted to be able to address that. I tried sending a response back to her, but for some reason it didn't go through, so my apologies. I bought these from Lindenberg, which is I get a catalog, the Lindenberg catalog. They are based out of Manitoba. So my first set of Kozy coats, you got 3 in a pack, and what they are, it's like a mini greenhouse. So they come like this, and then you just kind of, you can see right through to the other side. What I do when I get these ready is I slip this over a planter, an empty planter pot, a half decent size, and then I get my hose set up and I fill up each one of these tubes individually with water. And then once I've filled them up, I take them and I pick it up and I place it over my plant, and in here I have peppers. So what the Kozy coat does is it's like a mini greenhouse, and it holds in that heat, because with these hot days like this water is warm, and so it kind of just holds in the heat. And with peppers like heat, and this is where I struggle because I don't have a greenhouse. Now the heat that we have is great for growing tomatoes, and that's why I have my tomatoes. I wouldn't need to, if I had a greenhouse, I wouldn't have to put my tomatoes in a greenhouse, because my tomatoes do amazing with the heat that we get, but as far as my peppers go, it's like they struggle. And we had a very cool spring, lots of rain, and so I decided to use these Kozy coats to put around my peppers this year. So I've never put them around my peppers before. I usually put them around my tomatoes. And for the tomatoes, it worked really well because you could set those plants out earlier than you would normally set them out. Usually you wait until after the last frost, and then you wait still a couple more days later before you would plant your tomatoes. Well, with these Kozy coats, you could actually, so our last frost date is usually June the 2nd. Well, I could plant my tomatoes, put these Kozy coats around them, and start them 2 weeks before my last frost date. Have them growing in the ground, and you have that protection. So if it hails, your plants are going to get protected. And what it also does is that I noticed with the tomatoes is it's kind of sped the growth rate up on the tomatoes, and I wouldn't leave the Kozy coats on my tomatoes. I actually, once they got up to the top of here, like to the top of the Kozy coat, I would slip them off and then put the tomato cages on them. Well, I don't do any of that. Now that have the panels with the T-posts and I have them growing up vertically, now the only tomatoes that I do have growing in the garden that I'm staking up are indeterminate tomatoes because they grow an indeterminate height. So they will go and grow to the top of this panel without any problem. And what I'm doing is I'm tying the plant up to the panel, I'm heavily pruning them, and you would not believe the amount of tomatoes that I get off of these plants. I had so many tomatoes last year, it wasn't even funny. So I wanted to be able to reach out to Pauline Tizia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but I just wanted to kind of let you know that this is what I do with my Kozy coats. I have had Kozy coats for years. I've used them on different occasions. This year, I'm using them for my peppers. I hope that they're going to thrive and succeed and do well. Like I did get a few peppers just having them out in the elements, but I'm hoping I can get way more because I need a good pepper haul. I don't usually get a very good pepper haul at all. So I'm just gonna let you take a look at what my peppers look like inside my Kozy coats. So let's take a look. These here are the Big Bertha peppers. And they're looking pretty good. Got some nice dark green foliage. Here's another one. Looking a little bit better than that one. And then this one, I'm noticing there are some buds on the top of this one. So we're already getting some buds forming some flowers on here. So I'm really hoping that I have a good pepper year this year. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the Kozy coats. I was saying that I got mine from Lindenberg. Well, TNT, who is also based out of Manitoba, also carries the Kozy coats. And I went and looked in the catalogs, and 3 Kozy coats through Lindenberg. You can get 3 for $20. Well, when I bought them, you could get 3 for $10. So, and if you had $40 or more, you could get 1. And so here on the $40, if you had a purchase of $40 or more, you could get 1 of these items. And one of the items was 3 of the Kozy coats. So when you get 3, and instead of paying $19.99, you'd pay $17.99. Well, I remember when they were $9.99. That's when I bought my first set of 3 Kozy coats. If you want 10 Kozy coats, it's $60 for 10 Kozy coats. And I just want to read a little bit of what it says in here. They're water-filled tubes encircle each plant. They store the heat, insulate against frost, and speed up the growth. You can set out your tomato plants weeks earlier. They have another deal that if you want 50 Kozy coats, it's $250. If you wanted to get 50 Kozy coats from these guys, Lindenberg, it comes in a pack of 10, is $60. So you would have to get 5 of those. It would be $300. So you're saving $50. And if in this one, where does it have it? Where's the order thing? If you have an order, you will receive 10% if your order is over $110 before shipping and taxes. So, okay, you're gonna get those 50 Kozy coats at $250. Well, you're gonna save $25 off of that. So now you're getting them for $225. That's what I ended up doing them. And when I got my 50, they weren't even $250. They were $220. And then I saved money because I had my order was over the amount. So I saved another 10%. So, I mean, it's worth it if you know that you're going to use it. Okay, these new and improved Kozy coats will help you produce bountiful early crops regardless of the weather. The red color keeps the tubes of water warmer longer, which means cozier tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and melons during chilly nights, and even frost down to minus 12 degrees Celsius. And best of all, they work. Can be left on all season, but keep filled with water. So, and also another thing they said here, get at least 1 month head start on the competition. Kozy coats are treated with UVI ultraviolet inhibitor for long life up to 10 years or more. Get a head start producing pickling cukes too. And also they have a Kozy coat repair sleeves, which I have gotten those. Those Kozy coats that I have, the ones that aren't quite as red as the other ones, I've had those for well over 10 years, probably 15 to 20 years I've had those. And yes, I do have some that need repairs, and I bought those little sleeves and you just slip them inside the tubes and it will plug the hole that's leaking out. So I think it's worth it, and I really like them. I've used them a lot. So I think for Pauline, I think, you know, depending what you want to use them for, they're very versatile. It's not just for tomatoes and peppers. It was saying you could also use them for your cucumbers as well. Okay, so it's pretty hot out here. I'm gonna go inside into my air-conditioned house. I just wanted to bring you along, show you some of the stuff that I was picking out of my garden today. Wanted to show you my hikiri turnips. I'm so impressed with them. I mean, yes, I had a little bit of pest damage on some of them, but I think I let them go a little bit too long. So yeah, just trying to keep up with the vegetables, and everything is doing really good. We're going to be staking and pruning up my tomatoes this week too, so we'll be doing a video about that. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.